in one day at a time at this point.
With all your experience in the league, how has that helped you, I guess, adjust to the scheme and just kind of know what you're doing out there?
I played in a similar scheme in Atlanta, so I wouldn't say that the scheme is completely new. It's really just learning the terminology and the way that they want to play things here. So I mean, there's always that adjustment period, but I'm starting to get better and better every day and just pick up little small things daily.
What are you gathering next to playing next to Fred, practicing next to Fred Warner?
I just take everything in that I can. I'm just a silent watcher. I don't really talk a lot. I just kind of sit back and watch. Fred probably the best in the game right now, so I just try to take in all the information I can from him.
How familiar were you with Fred Warner's game before you came here?
I've always watched Fred. Like I say, he's probably the best in the game, so I've always been a fan of him even before I came. And we, even when we compete against each other, we always chop it up after the game. So I was always familiar with Fred before I got here.
Devondre, why is this scheme a good fit for you?
It's a scheme that I've played in before, so like I said, I'm familiar with it. But there's just a lot of great players here, so there ain't gonna be much attention on me, and I can just play free.
What's your first
things
impression?
you were looking for in your next team, and what about this place attracted you to?
I'm in the later part of my career, so I just wanted to go somewhere where they were winners, and you didn't have to go through the process of wondering if you were gonna make the playoffs or not. And the resume here speaks for itself. 5 straight years, basically either in the NFC Championship game or the Super Bowl. So the resume kind of speaks for itself in terms of what Kyle and John and everybody else have been able to accomplish over the past 5 or 6 years.
What are your early impressions of Nick Sorensen as a defensive coordinator?
Nick played the game, so he's very relatable. He understands, and I mean that just goes a long way, especially being a player.
And then Brandon Staley's role. What have you seen from him?
Funny story about that. I've known him since I was in high school. He actually recruited me to go to junior college, so I've always had a great relationship with him. It's pretty cool to kind of everything comes full circle.
Is it nice to get back together with him? And
yeah, his football IQ has always been super high. That's one of the first things I've noticed about him. So I think he's a huge addition for our defense, especially for a lot of the younger guys. I think they can learn a lot from him as well as myself and everybody else.
Since you've known him for so long, how has he changed from that time to now?
He hasn't changed at all. Just, I guess, age, really.
I know you mentioned you had a good relationship with him since high school. Have you kept constant communication with him since?
I wouldn't say constant communication, always watched from afar. And, like when I played against him, when he's been coaching all of the teams, we always talk, but I wouldn't say like we kept consistent communication. But, it's one of those things, once you know somebody and you see them again, it's just like you never left.
You've obviously been going against Kyle Shanahan offenses in practice since you got into the league. Have you seen those offenses sort of proliferate across the league in that span since then? I mean,
I wouldn't necessarily say proliferate. The thing about Kyle is his mind is insane. I feel like he's probably the best in the game in terms of like being able to get guys open, and that's something I've always respected about him ever since I've known him as a rookie in Atlanta. Like his mind is insane, and just being able to see him from I've only knew him as an OC, so actually getting to see him as a head coach, like he's taught me so many things in such a short time that I've been here on how they're trying to attack us as a defense, and it just helps me know how to play certain things.
A couple more, if any. All right, thank you.
Thank you.